Hey, good morning, Austin. Quick demo video for you for your custom Saberforge saber. This is installed with a Proffie. It's got a 2-button setup, so you provided the 2 switches here. You have a green illuminated switch here for your power, and then a red illuminated switch back here for your auxiliary. All right, and you've got a CCS NeoPixel connector in here, so it's got LEDs on it. I'll fire that up here in a second for you. And then you have a removable chassis. So what you want to do, you have 2 different options to take this chassis out. The easiest, and the one I suggest, is to just unscrew the pommel. You can unscrew the handle if you want to, though. I would just be careful because you do have that one shim there. So in order to keep that shim in place and not lose it, I would just suggest unscrewing the pommel. All right, so we can take this off here. You'll see your chassis. You can pull it right out. And then this is the new chassis. All right, so very much like the old one, and I'll show you the old one here in a second. What had happened was I printed the old one, sent it off to you for paint. There were some inconsistencies on the inside of the saber that I wasn't planning on, and with the paint, it was just a little bit too much to fit in. All right, so this is the one that I sent you originally, and you painted up. It looks pretty cool. I'm going to send this back to you just in case there's ever an opportunity in the future that you can use this. So all that work is not going to go to waste. All right, so I'll go ahead and I'll put that in your box as well. But this is very cool. I did use the provided speaker that you sent, so it has a 22mm speaker in here. Your Proffie board up here, of course. You got easy access to your SD card and your micro USB from right here. You never have to move the board. This is using a Smuggler's Outpost Switch Pixel PCB set. So you've got this PCB here. If I were to take this and unscrew the handle, you'll want to be careful not to unscrew the middle piece. But if we unscrew the handle, you'd see that 14-pin PCB in there if it wants to focus. There we go. So you got that 14-pin PCB in there that never comes out. Okay, that is actually inside of a separate chassis piece that's locked in with this grub screw right here. So you never want to mess with this guy. Only use this grub screw right here. This is your blade retention. All right. So I got the config on there that you sent me. I took the old SD card from the old Proffie board. Of course, it had all your sound fonts on there. So we just transferred that over with your new config that you emailed me, and everything's working fine. We can go ahead and throw a battery in this guy.
There is no emotion. There is peace.
This part of the chassis was designed to fit inside the pommel, just like that. And that speaker is very recessed down into the chassis, so you have some very good sound. Okay, so this slides right over just like that. And then you can take this whole thing, move that D-ring out of the way, take this whole thing and just push it right in and screw in the pommel. Very easy to do. All right, lock it all the way down. Come over here and hit activation. So you see you got your green for your power, your red back here for your auxiliary. LEDs in here lighting up like they should. I noticed on your config you had the volume set to 1000, and it sounds really good this way. You've got twist off. We're going to throw a blade in here. You, of course, have it set for a full-size blade, but I'm going to use my TriStar test blade just because I like using it. And it's a little bit easier to swing around, right? So you've got swing on. And, of course, your switches will come on when the blade comes on. Go another sound font. Qui-Gon. Do one more.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan. You have about 50 fonts on here. I don't know if it's quite 50, but quite a few. So I'm just showing you, everything's cycling very smoothly. cycled once through all of them before I did the demo to make sure they were all fine. I won't typically demo all 50 fonts though, just wanting to show you that this saber works. But we'll take the blade out when we're done, and we can come back over here from the pommel and unscrew it again. And this chassis will very easily slide right out. I did come through on the model for the chassis, and I took off the slightest bit of diameter, so it's just a tad looser than I normally would do for a removable chassis, although it works fine now. I wanted to leave some room for you to paint if you wanted to, so you can paint, you know, this entire thing and not have to worry about any fitment issues. All right, so that's what you've got. That's basically your saber. So let me know if you got any questions. If not, we will, or I will, package this up today and try my best to get it out to you today. But if it's not today, it will be first thing in the morning. All right. Thanks, man.